Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Physics Unveiled. Today, we are going to discuss a very important topic of mathematical tools for class 11 physics, which is maxima and minima. In our last topics, we have touched various subtopics of mathematical tools like sine and cosine rule, differentiation, graphs and function, integration, the need of integration. And finally, we came to this particular topic, which is maxima and minima. And this will be our last topic on mathematical tools for class 11 physics. After this, we'll be straight away jumping into the actual physics syllabus for class 11. That is, we'll be starting from motion in one dimension. But as I've already told you, that in order to solve the problems of physics, you will be needing the help of mathematical tools. So if you have not seen our past videos or previous videos, I'll request you kindly go to our playlist and see the foundation class for physics 11, in which we have posted all the necessary videos which are necessary for building your concept to move ahead. Else, I'll put the links of all those videos in the description box of this particular session. So without wasting much time, let us see what is maxima and minima. So again, as it has become our trend now, we always start the chapter with some problems to understand that is this particular topic is really relevant to understand before we actually jumping into the physics. So I have categorically chosen 3 problems before you, taking motion in one dimension in mind, that how maxima and minima will help you to solve this kind of problems in physics. The first problem states the velocity of a car between two road junctions is modeled by v equal to 3t minus 0.2 t square, where t is greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to 15 seconds. Find the maximum speed. So you can see that the velocity of car is function of time. Now, how why it is function of time? In order to understand, please kindly see the description box for the links of graphs and functions, or I'll put the links in the I button as well. Second problem, in which again there is a problem that the ball is thrown vertically upwards and its height is governed by time as h equal to 20t minus 5t square. Okay, so we have to find out the maximum height reaches by the ball. And third problem, which is a very unique one, you can see there is a graph shown in the presentation, and it shows that it's a graph between the altitude versus time of a skydiver. So we need to draw the graph of velocity versus time and acceleration versus time. So how understanding maxima and minima will help you to understand to solve this kind of graph-based problems as well. So we'll be dealing this in our as we progresses. Now, from our previous class, let's start our previous class of differentiation, where we have understood that differentiation is nothing but the slope of tangent to curve, right? You must be remembering. See, in this particular point, I have got suppose this is point P and this is point Q. If point P and point Q, there is a line, this red line is crossing. This red line is nothing but the secant. Okay. So secant is crossing 2 points of a curve. Now, if you want to find out the slope of this curve, then you can find out this theta, and this theta will nothing but, if this is x plus del x and this is x and this is y plus del y, okay, and this is y, so you can definitely find it out as this by this. Okay, so it is clear. Now, if you just draw the point P and Q closer to each other, in that case, you will see that if P and Q are so drawn closer to each other, then the secant will become a tangent. If P and Q are drawn closer to each other, then secant is equal to tangent. Okay. Now the slope, if P and Q, then you can see it will be converging. Now this green line of ours is nothing but the tangent. And this is tangent is given by dy by dx, where limit del x tends to 0. I'm not elaborating this subject right now because we have already dealt with all these concepts in our class of differentiation. So if someone new to our channel or just watching this particular as a first video, then I'll request you kindly browse to the differentiation, the topic of differentiation. Okay, then come to this topic so that it will help you to understand the topic clearly. Okay, आगे बढ़ते हैं. तो अब हमारा एक्चुअल टॉपिक स्टार्ट हो रहा है जिसको हम कह रहे हैं मैक्सिमा एंड मिनिमा. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आप देखें एक कर्व है, मैंने यहाँ एक कर्व ड्रॉ किया है. इस कर्व के ड्रॉ में आपको कुछ तो खास चीजें दिख रही होगी, कुछ चीजें बहुत हाइट पे दिख रही होगी, कुछ चीजें बॉटम पे दिख रही होगी, राइट. ये बॉटम पे, ये सब कुछ ज्यादा ही बॉटम पे. तो बेसिकली जो सबसे ऊंची पॉइंट्स है उसको हम मैक्सिमा कहते हैं. जो सबसे ऊंचा पॉइंट है उसको हम ग्लोबल मैक्सिमा कहते हैं. मतलब मैक्सिमा जो है वो दो तरह की होती है. अगर मान लीजिए कि फिर से ड्रॉ करें, जैसे मान लीजिए ये कर्व ड्रॉ कर दिया, तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ एक पॉइंट है हाई और एक पॉइंट है लो, तो इसको हम कह रहे हैं मिनिमा, इसको कह रहे हैं मैक्सिमा. इसको बेसिकली हम लोकल मैक्सिमा या लोकल मिनिमा कहते हैं. लेकिन मान लीजिए मोर देन वन मैक्सिमा और मिनिमा अवेलेबल है. फॉर एग्जांपल कि नाउ सी दिस कर्व. Okay, now there is a maxima available. Now it is highest of all those points. Now there is a minima, there is a maxima, there is again a minima. Okay, so now these two will be the local maxima or minima, local maxima, and this will be local minima, just from graph. Okay, right now we are not doing any mathematical calculation in mind right now, just from the graph we are saying. And this is global maxima. Okay, so similarly you have shown it here, like this is a curve and this is a curve, and you can find out this particular point P is the global maximum because it has got the maximum height. Point Q is the local minima. Then this is a local maxima. Okay, and this is global minima. Now how to find out local maxima, global minima, global minima, local maxima, local minima, we'll deal in the future. Now, as you have already understood that in our from the class of differentiation, that whenever we draw is tangent to a particular curve, then it gives us the slope. Slope, again I'm just writing it here. Slope is nothing for suppose there is a yx curve is there, and this is a curve, and if you're just drawing a tangent over here, sorry, just okay. Now this is a tangent over here, then this slope is slope of tangent, and this is nothing for y and x graph, this will be dy by dx. Okay, now see, this is the point of what? This is the point of maxima. Point of maxima. And this is point of minima. Now, if we just draw a tangent over this path, you can see the tangent, the slope dy by dx is nothing but 0. This is also 0. This is also 0. So, slope at maxima and minima is 0. So if slope as maxima and minima is 0, then how we are going to decide that after mathematical calculation, how you are going to decide that this is the point of maxima or this is the point of minima? Are you getting my point? Because if you are getting the slope, if you are getting slope for minima as well as for maxima as 0, then how to differentiate between these 2 points? That whether after calculation you are getting point of minima or point of maxima. So now we'll just get into that. We'll see. Our query is that for maxima or minima, we observe the slope to the point of maxima or minima as 0. Then how to differentiate? How to differentiate between them? दोनों में डिफरेंशिएट कैसे करें? फिर से मैं समझाता हूँ इस चीज को, ये थोड़ा सा जरूरी है। ये मान लीजिए मेरा कर्व है, इस कर्व में ये P जो है मान लीजिए मिनिमा है, सॉरी मैक्सिमा है, Q जो है ये मिनिमा है, जो कि दिख रहा है। और अगर हम यहाँ पे एक टेंजेंट ड्रॉ करते हैं तो dy by dx, मान लीजिए ये y and x का ग्राफ है, dy by dx at x equal to P is 0 and dy by dx at x equal to Q is also 0. So what are the method to differentiate between? This is the problem statement for us. Now let us try to understand that how we can solve this problem. Okay, so in order to solve this problem, we definitely need to take certain things in consideration, which I'll be telling you now. This is a very small chapter comparative to integration differentiation as a whole, because it is itself a subtopic of differentiation. Okay, but we are dealing it at last of everything. Now see. Suppose this is a curve. Okay, and there is a curve like this. Now please try to understand this. Suppose these are two curves before us. This is x, y, x. This is curve 1 and this is curve 2. So let us first understand about slope. What you are going to understand? Understanding slope. Okay. So let us take few points. Suppose this is a point P. This is point Q. This is point R. Same graph. Suppose this is point P. This is point Q. This is point R. Okay. Now just try to understand, or you can take a point here as well instead of taking here, so that you can have a similar kind of comparisons. Okay. Now try to understand. Let us draw some tangent to the curve. For example, at this point, tangent will be like, okay, this is tangent 1. This is angle alpha. Suppose at point Q, we are drawing again a tangent. Okay, this is tangent 2, and this is beta. And at point R, we are drawing a tangent like this, tangent 3, angle 0. Okay. Now, similarly, draw a tangent over here. Point P, draw a tangent. Okay. T1. If you just draw a tangent over here, T2. Okay. Draw a tangent over here, T3. Okay, clear? This is also, so if here is angle is 0. Okay. Now let us try to understand first the first curve first. You can see that the value of alpha is greater than beta, and beta is greater than the tangent at 3 at 0. So for this particular curve, slope is decreasing. Slope is decreasing as we move closer to maximum. Okay, clear? Any doubt? Now let us have one more thing, like suppose we are saying that slope is decreasing. What is the meaning of slope? Slope is nothing but dy by dx. So I will say from this curve, from graph number 1, we can say rate of change of slope is negative, as you can see beta is less than alpha. So change in slope कितना होगा? Change in slope का मतलब final angle by initial angle. So final angle minus initial angle, this will be a negative number. So when we say rate of change of slope, so you may write as d by dx of slope. Slope is dy by dx from this. Okay. So in short, we can write dy by dx square is negative. So get this thing. Whenever we are approaching to a point of maxima, we can see that rate of change of slope is decreasing. Therefore, we can write that, what you can write? We can write that d2y by dx square, or second derivative of slope at maxima is negative. Again, I'm writing d2x by dx square is negative. Any doubt? Clear? Now see here. Now suppose we are drawing, again, we are just moving from minima to higher up. Okay. Now suppose this is the slope. This is again a tangent. And suppose this. And this is alpha, this is beta. So here you can see beta is greater than alpha. If beta is greater than alpha, so we can say from point of minima onwards, slope of curve is increasing. Therefore, we can write rate of change of slope is positive. So d2 by dx square is positive. again writing the entire thing in form of a graph so that you can understand. But if you have not understood it, please try to draw as many as graph possible so that you will have a clear understanding. Let me draw a few more graphs so that we all can be on same page. Okay. At this particular point, I just want you to pause the video for a certain time and see what I have drawn over here. And after understanding only, you should move ahead. Okay. I'm rewriting the entire phrase one more time, that what we have, what you mean from here. Understanding slope is very much important, as you know that for any kind of graph, suppose there is an acceleration versus time graph, or velocity versus time graph, or displacement versus time graph, every graph will have certain things to give you in terms of physical quantity. Okay, so if you're not understanding slope, then while solving those problems, you will have some issues. Okay, so I request you to understand. Suppose I'm just saying this is y and this is x, and this is our curve, straight line. So in this case, angle is measured in this direction. This is the anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise angle increases. Okay, angle increases. So we consider anti-clockwise as positive. So this is a positive slope, and constant slope, right? From graph itself we can see. Now let's draw another one. Y-axis is there. Now we are drawing our graph like this, straight line. In this case, it is just a horizontal line. So slope is 0. Clear? Now let's draw it, the third graph, y and x. Suppose this is the graph. In this case, if you are measuring the angle from this side, then this will be a clockwise direction. Clockwise direction. If anti-clockwise is positive, so clockwise direction is negative. Okay, so if it is, you may also take this one also, but in this case you can see it is pi minus something, right? So then theta will be negative only. Because you are going to be greater than 90 degree plus. Okay, so now let us not confuse ourselves much. So we are taking this direction. Okay, suppose simple. This is the angle, this is the angle. In this case, this is a clockwise direction. So slope is negative and constant. Okay, now let's draw third graph. Y-axis. Okay, let's choose some other color. P, Q. Let's draw the tangent on P first. This is P point. This is again anti-clockwise. Draw Q here. Tangent. This is beta, tangent 2, tangent 1. So as beta is less than alpha, so slope decreasing. Slope decreasing and positive. Okay, let's draw another graph. So this is y, this is x. Let's choose some other color. Let's draw a tangent. Let's draw a tangent like this. This is T2. This is T1. this is alpha, this is beta. See, this is negative, this is negative clockwise direction, but you can see alpha beta is greater than alpha from figure itself. Okay, height is greater than negative height, maybe negative height, but negative slope. So increasing slope but negative. Okay, let's draw the third figure. Yx, suppose this is a curve. Let's again draw it. Tangents, suppose at this and this point, let's at this point we are drawing a tangent like this. Okay, this is T1. Suppose again this is C, clockwise, anti-clockwise, alpha, and this is beta, this is T2. So you can say slope increasing and positive. So in short, you understand the concept of increasing slope, constant slope, positive slope, and negative slope. Okay, summarizing this, if this is the angle and this is the anti-clockwise direction, anti-clockwise, this angle is positive. Okay, if this is the angle, this is clockwise, this is the beta is negative. Okay, so this is the concept of slope. Please mark this particular portion of video as very much important for you, because it will give you a long level of understanding to solve the problem of physics of 1 dimension, 2 dimensions, okay, as we progress. Okay, so please mark it. Now again, get back to our actual problem, that is, what is second derivative test, that as we have discussed just now. Okay, so let's see. So to differentiate the point of maxima and minima, we will differentiate our function for second time to see d2y by dx square at x equal to some point, suppose x is greater than 0, or d2y by dx square at x equal to x naught is less than 0. If this is the case, this is maxima and this is minima. So let us try to understand in with a numerical. I hope so far the problem is clear to you. Okay, so it's hardly. Suppose, let's see a problem first. Okay, suppose y is given, this is a question, y is given as x square minus 9x plus 3. Okay, and we have to find the point of minima and maxima. So how you are going to solve it? The first step, step 1, find dy by dx. Okay, because we know at the point of maxima and minima, the slope is 0. dy by dx is 0. Okay, so first step is find dy by dx. So let's find dy by dx. This is 2x minus 9. Now equate dy by dx to 0. Okay, because slope at maxima and minima is what? 0. So 2x minus 9 is 0. So you get a point x equal to 9 by 2. Okay. Now we have to find out whether this point is point of minima or point of maxima. Okay. So now step 3 is second derivative, second time differentiation. So let's do it for the second time. d2y by dx square is 2, because 9 will be 0, only 2. So which is d2y by dx square is what? Positive. So this curve, if it is positive, then it is minima. So minima, that means this particular curve, this curve has only one minima and no maximum. Okay, let's draw it as well to check. I hope you understand. The point, the steps are very simple. First you have to just differentiate, second time differentiate, and put the value of x. Okay, and you'll get your answer. I have stated 3 problems in my, while opening this session. So I'll expect that all of you try to solve those problems before actually browsing to the solutions. Okay, and then try to look at the solution and see that is there any difference in the methods implemented by you or me. Okay, that would be good enough. So let us draw the curve and try to understand. So what is our curve? The curve is y is x square minus is a quadratic equation curve. So let's try to find out. Let's draw it simply. Otherwise, you can solve otherwise as well. X equal to 0, y is 3. Okay, and if we put x equal to 1, or suppose 2, 4 minus 3, 4 minus 9. Suppose x equal to 1 or 2 or 3, 2. So 2, this is 4, this is 18, this is 3. This is 15 minus 14. Okay, so it will be going down. Okay, so let's draw it. Now this is 0, 3. Okay, so we'll start with this. And curve will go like this. So this will be the point of minimum. Okay, let's try to take up one more problem from here. If you draw the graph of any curve, then also you'll have a understanding that whether by solving the problem mathematically and drawing it graphically, bringing the same result or not. Okay, so that is also a cool part to compare your results. Now let's try to solve one more problem. Suppose y equal to 5x cube plus 2x square minus 3x. Same problem. Find point of max on mean. Okay, so let's first, step 1 is what? Step 1 is to differentiate, find dy by dx. So step 1, dy by dx, this will be 15x square plus 4x minus 3. Okay, So if you just equate this particular thing, so dy by dx is 0. So this will be 15x square plus 4x plus minus 3 equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. You will get two value of x. Okay, x1 x2, find it out. Okay, then what you have to find out? You have to find out d2y by dx square here. d2y by dx square as 30x plus 4. Now you have got two value from x1 x2 from here and put it over here. Okay, now if d2y by dx square at x equal to x1 is positive or negative, similarly if d2 by dx square at x equal to x2 is positive or negative, then accordingly this will be a minima and this will be maxima. Again, this will be minima and this will be maxima. So it is clear. Now let us go back to our slide, and I will expect that you please post the solution of this particular problem. Okay, I'm just leaving it to you. Again, I'm just reiterating the entire fact. First of all, you have to find out the first derivative and then equate the first derivative to 0, because you know the slope of maxima and minima is 0. Now this is a quadratic equation. Then you will find two value of x. You put those value of x in the second derivative and find and decide what is the value of d2y by dx square at x equal to x1 and at x equal to x2. If it is positive, then it's a minima. If it is less than 0, it's a maximum. Okay, so let's go back to slide. Now, as we back to our slide, where we have asked a question to you that if the slope at maxima and minima both equals to 0, then how to differentiate? So we have to differentiate by using a second derivative test. Okay, so let's see. So in second derivative test, we find out this is the point of maxima. You can see if it's a y versus t graph. In this case, we have shown the graph between y and t. Okay, this is the graph of y and t. So if the y and t graph is there and this is the point of maxima, then dy by dt is 0. If dy by dt is 0, then d2y by dt square is less than 0. Sorry, less than 0. Because you can see the slope is decreasing to 0. Okay, in this case you can see for the point of minima onwards, again the slope is increasing. You can slope is increasing. Okay, the slope is increasing. In that case, d2y by dt second derivative has to be greater than 0. Sorry, 1. Slope is 0. Now there is a special point which I'm not going to discuss, but I thought that what would happen if d2y by dx square or d2y by dt square is equal to 0. Okay, so what would happen? But this is called point of inflection. Now point of inflection is what? I'm not going to detail the thing right now because it is out of syllabus right now for us. But I'm just trying to draw a figure and it will help you to understand what is point of inflection. Suppose this is a curve. Okay, so this curve, there is a point of maxima. This is maxima and this is minima. Now at certain point, suppose this is a point where the point is changing its direction from maxima to minima. Okay, at this particular point, this R point is called, R is the, suppose, transition point between maxima and minima. So R is called point of inflection. Okay, this much you should know right now. When you will deal the problem of calculus, then you can again try to solve these problems. Now, after understood the concept of maxima and minima, let's go back to our problem. Okay. Now let us try to take the first problem. Okay, let's try to take the first problem right now. The first problem is velocity equal to 3t minus 0.2t square. Okay, we have to find out the maximum speed. Okay, so this is a v versus t graph. This is v versus t graph. If it is a v versus t graph, what do we have to find out? We have to find out dv by dt, first derivative. So this is 3 minus 0.4 into t. What do we do at the point of maximum minima? We equate to 0. We are getting it to 0. So this is 3 minus 0.4 t is equal to 0. So time equal to 3 by 0.4. Okay. If time equal to 0 by 3.4, we have to find out the maximum speed. So for, let's again differentiate. The d2 by dt square is nothing but 0 minus 0.4, which is less than 0. So definitely it's a maximum point. Maximum point. So you just put the value of t back to the velocity. So this point of time is point of maxima. Just put the value and you can get the value of maximum velocity. Okay. I'm not going to solve this problem now, keeping light of physics in my mind, because why the velocity has to be maximum, why this and that. I'm just trying to solve the problem using maximum minimum. Okay, so there could be the other ways to solve this problem, taking different concept into account. But right now, our main concept is maxima and minima. So you have to deal the problem according to that only. Okay. I hope you are finding this chapter is very much easy compared to the other chapters that you have studied so far. I think sine and cosine was also very easy. What do you think? Please post your comments to our box so that you can understand that which mathematical tools you have find out so much tough so far. Now, second problem is height is 20t minus 5t square. We have to find out maximum height reached. Okay. So again, this is the h versus t graph. We have to find out maximum. So dh by dt. This is 20 minus 10t. Dh by dt we have to equate to 0 because we know for all maxima and minima slope is 0. So 20 minus 10t. Okay. So this is equal to 0. T equal to 2 seconds. Now again, second differentiate it. d2h by dt square is minus 10, which is less than 0. So this is point of maxima. So just put the value of 2 seconds into this particular thing and you will get h max. Any doubt? So this problem are very much simple. If you don't know the concept of maxima and minima, see how much difficult it would be to solve the similar problem for us, right? So that's why the concept of understanding maxima and minima is very much important. Now let us try to understand the other problem. Though I'm not going to solve this problem in detail, but we'll try to draw certain things. See, this is the altitude versus time graph. So in short, this is the x versus t graph or height versus t graph, whatever you want to say. And in this height versus t graph, you can see that if we draw a tangent over here, then this tangent will be flat, right, at this point. If you draw a tangent over here, it will be coming like this. And if you draw a tangent over here, it will be like this. Okay, so this angle, see, negative angle is there. So alpha is greater than beta, but in negative slope. So in this case, this slope is negative. Slope is negative and increasing. Okay, so if we just draw the we know that velocity is nothing but dx by dt, and dx by dt is what? Slope. The slope of xt graphs gives what? Velocity. So if you draw the velocity versus time graph up to, suppose that this is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 second up to, this is the 7 second up to, this is t equal to 7 seconds, suppose. 7 second up to, velocity has started from 0 to in negative direction. Okay. Clear? Now you see from here to here, the slope is constant. This slope is constant, but negative. That means what? That means velocity is constant and negative, right? And ultimately at this particular point, displacement and time is 0. So velocity is eventually dropping to 0. Okay. So if this is the velocity and this is time, so say this is the negative velocity. So velocity is going in the negative direction up to 0.7 second, and then it has become constant. Okay. 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 So try to understand this one more time. Okay, and try to draw the things at your end so that we can all be on same page. Okay. I hope you have able to understand. Now, what if you could draw the acceleration time versus time graph, and it's okay. If not, then we'll again discuss this problem one more time. But let us try to understand this problem one more time. See again what I'm saying. See, if you draw a slope over here, it will be 0. If you draw a slope over here, it will be 0. So velocity has started from 0, and it is coming down. Slope is increasing, and velocity is increasing in negative direction, and ultimately then velocity is after this point. You see the slope of this point and slope of this point is decreases. Okay. So there, one thing that you could if you okay, wait. So definitely the velocity is constant, but its value is slightly lesser than the velocity at this particular point. Okay. So let's see how it is. So up to 7 seconds, the velocity is okay. Velocity is increasing continuously, and then the velocity has decreased. Okay. So after 7 seconds, the velocity is decreased and it is constant. Then it's constant. So this is one part where velocity is increasing and negative, and this part again the velocity is negative, but it is constant. Velocity is negative and constant. Value wise also you can see the value wise you can see the velocity of this part up to this point, and this point will be slightly different. You can see the slope is different. Okay, so that this is the graph of A versus T, and sorry, V versus T. Now if you want to draw the A versus T graph, then A is nothing but acceleration is nothing but velocity by time, and velocity is nothing but displacement by time. Okay, so in short, this is d2x by dt square. Now d2x by dt square is less than 0. That means acceleration is less than 0. Okay, so you have to find it out. And I think it would be wise enough for us to discuss the same thing while we start the motion in one dimension, because at that particular time we'll be definitely understanding few more concepts apart from maxima and minima to solve this problem. So till this point, I think we are sufficient to explore the problems of physics in light of maxima and minima. Let's move ahead. This portion is clear to you, slope and secant and tangent line. This portion we cleared that what is global maxima, local minima, local maxima, local global minima. Again, we find out the slope at all maxima and minima is 0. That is the first step of finding out the value of maxima and minima. Now, if the slope at all maxima and minima is 0, then how to differentiate? In order to differentiate them, we have to use the second derivative test. If the second derivative test is less than 0, it's the point of maxima. If the second derivative test is greater than 0, it's the point of minima. And if it is equal to 0, the point of inflection. So point of inflection right now we're not discussing because it is out of our syllabus right now. And ultimately, we came to the end. And this is all from Physics Unveiled for the today's session. And one more time, we are finding that most of our viewers definitely watch our videos, but they are not subscribing. So if you are not subscribing, is it because of some quality issues, or is it because that the channel is not educated enough to give knowledge, adding knowledge to your existing values, existing stocks? So please, whatever the issue you have, kindly get back to us through our mails and or the comment box. We'll be happy to serve you. We'll happy to address your issues. And we want this channel to be more and more productive for you, for your batchmates. So I again request you, kindly do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so that you can get the notification whenever we post our videos. And do maximum shares and comment on our box so that you can understand whatever the physics, what are the problems of physics, or whatever the issues that you are facing with physics. And if you need some kind of intervention from us, we'll definitely help you. At the same time, we'll request you to join our Telegram channel. You can find the link in the description box, where our teachers provides live Zoom classes for doubt clearing as a doubt clearing sessions. And at the same time, you can have your QA session with our teachers and to solve your physics query. With this, we finish the session for today, and have a great day. Thank you.